What's the number one question you want answered in BYU football training camp?
Okay, there are two that I have settled on. This whole Big 12, Pac-12 thing has dominated my mind.
In this show.
So I'm trying really hard to push pause on that.
Why? It's so fun.
And then dive into BYU football and just put all my efforts into this. But there are two questions that I have settled on. Number one, we've heard so much about Jay Hill and aggression and let the big dogs eat, and it's going to be way more blitz heavy.
Sports.
Yes, classic football cliches.
Get after it.
Yes. We've heard so much about the aggressive nature of the defense and how it's going to be very, very different than what last year and years previous have looked like.
Yeah.
How much will we actually see of that? Will they actually show us anything to present to the media in these brief viewing windows that the defense does look a little bit different?
We have 15 minutes today and Friday.
All I heard, and this comes from the BYU offense, from Keaton Slovis and Cody Epps and guys in player run practices and in spring ball, is the defense kicked our butts a lot, on the regular, because it was new. We weren't used to this BYU defense.
Well, to Keaton, it's all new.
Yeah, so there was some frustration, too, specifically for Keaton, where it's oh, my gosh, they're kicking my butt. Jay Hill said, this is going to be good for you because we're getting you ready. We are preparing you for things that you could see in the fall.
There's going to be some good defense.
And so, but that's just all, we're going off of hearsay from the players and coaches.
That's all it is until September 2nd.
Will we see anything? Will there be a noticeable change? Oh, wow, it really is more aggressive. The front is clearly getting after it a little bit more than the classic drop 8 and, make the quarterbacks throw checkdowns, hold blocks. Yeah. Yes, block eaters.
Don't get after the quarterback, just hold your block.
How much will we see of the new defense to signify that, yes, it actually does look new? And then number two, who in the world is going to be the BYU kicker?
Yeah, I put out some information this morning. There's 4 dudes. Justin Smith, by the way, I was told medically retired.
Has gone into retirement.
So it's 4 new dudes. None of which have kicked a field goal
ever
in college.
None have attempted a field goal in collegiate level.
Your boy Jake Oldroyd had not either going into 2016 and turned out to be really good at the start of that year, especially in the Arizona game, and had a really nice career at BYU. So Landon Rico's one of them. That's Ryan's brother. Yeah. Will Farron from Boise State.
Who was a kickoff guy primarily, but not a field goal kicker.
Correct. They had a good field goal kicker. They didn't need him. As I scroll to my own tweet. Okay. So then there's Matthias Dunn, freshman from Wasatch, Heber, Utah, and then Jordan Capisi, a freshman from Honolulu. Those are your 4 kickers.
Yeah, Matthias Dunn, the coaches are really big on his big leg. They feel like he has the power leg.
I want someone to be like, oh, this guy's amazing, but he has a skinny leg. It's a
You know what I
leg.
want? I want somebody to be automatic from 40 yards in. That's what I want.
Spence, we need someone that can make a 53-yarder.
I know.
At Oklahoma State.
I know.
To win a game.
But if you can
you make a field goal in the third quarter and that gives you a 10-point lead. For BYU to take the next step, they need that guy. I fear that if you don't have a good kicker, we'll see who it is, we don't know, that if you don't have a good one, that you lose a game or two. That you would have won, that maybe gets you bowl eligible. That's the fear there. The unknown is more scary than the known, of course, but yeah, sure. BYU has brought in 4 guys they feel like are going to compete, and one of these guys is going to be the guy.
With guys that don't have any experience, I'll take, he's automatic 40 yards in. He's about 50% between 40 and 50. Fine. Okay, for a guy who has not attempted a field goal in a game, if that turns out to be the scenario, sign me up.
Yeah.
It'll
change quickly because in game 1, I would imagine he would kick a field goal in a game. And then that's over.
40 yards in, automatic.
Yeah, in college, nothing's automatic, right? Yeah.
A lot of college kickers can't make consistently a field goal between 30 and 39 yards. The numbers are not good. They do not favor college kickers.
I'd like to feel confident about a 45-yarder. And if Justin Smith was healthy and available, I'd be like, okay, up to 45, BYU's pretty good.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? What are your burning questions? What's your number one question?
Okay, real quick. One is what's the Pac-12 TV deal? That's my number one question.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, and then number 2 is everyone healthy? Honestly, there's not a lot we can learn or have answered that is definitive in fall camp. A lot of that is revealed in the season. We're not going to be able to see the means. We will tell you what we're hearing and seeing and whatnot throughout fall camp, of course. We'll talk to Blaine Fowler in a sec, who's very connected, of course. But yeah, is everyone healthy? That's the #1 goal and like thing I want to know at the end of the like.
There are a bunch of
Slovis,
guys.
Aiden Robbins have to be healthy. Like Eddie Heckard, Malik Moore, Michael Harper, these guys have to be healthy at a fall camp.
Well, and guys coming off of injuries and surgeries for that
Max
matter.
Tooley, we talked to you yesterday. That shoulder's got to be healthy.
Is Ben Bywater fully healthy? Is Max Tooley fully healthy?
Yeah.
Malik Moore, does he look fully healthy? I know he's had a full offseason to work through his injuries, but is he okay? Is Cody Epps truly healthy? He says he is. We haven't seen him. Like, is everyone healthy? It's a great question.